activities that we had to do, and we greatly appreciate your time. So,
okay, I appreciate it also. If anybody wants to sit down, please feel free to sit. I have 2 briefs I have to write today, so we'll try to keep it to 15 minutes if we can. If some of you want to talk beyond that, Andrew Pacheco's here, and he'll be able to continue to meet with you. But I'll have to try to keep it to about 15 minutes. And if you want some responses from me, you'll want to, in about 10 minutes, talk about the things you want to be sure that I hear. And then if anybody wants to talk with that, we'll do that.
okay, so we're going to start with Viviana Vasquez.
Hi, my name is Viviana Vasquez.
Hi, Viviana.
I'm 20 years old, and right now I'm currently studying at Phoenix College in elementary education. When I graduated from high school, I graduated in the top 2% of my class from Alhambra High School, and the transition between high school and going into college was a very hard transition for me. I had been accepted to a university, but I was unable to accept a scholarship because of my status. So with the private scholarship, I was able to attend Phoenix College. However, I was only able to attend one class a semester because that was all I could afford. At the time when I had graduated from high school, I did not have DACA, so I was DACA, deferred action.
Okay.
And so with the help of my parents and this private scholarship, I was allowed only one class a semester. And as a person who wants to continue their education, that was very difficult for me to accept. And when I received DACA, that has allowed me to continue my education as a full-time student. And this is something that's very important to me. I'm very committed to my education. I want the rest of my community and my friends to also be allowed this opportunity to continue their dreams. I want to be a teacher. I want to be able to contribute back to my community. I want to go back to the school that I had gone to and hopefully have the same effect that they have had on me, so I can have the same effect on them.
Carla. My name is Carla. I'm also 20 years old. My story is similar to Viviana's, except that I'm a small business owner. I'm a taxpayer. I've been living here for 13 years. I received my deferred action in January, and I meet all the requirements to be an institution student. So,
what's your business?
I do graphic design, and marketing. And I'm also going to Phoenix College for advertising and marketing. And yeah, I just think that, like she said, education is very dear to us because that's, like I said, our whole purpose on our reason is to improve ourselves and better ourselves. So,
DNA?
Hi.
I've been in this state, in this country, since I was 4 years old. I have done all of my schooling here. I am currently about to enroll as a senior at Washington High School. And the purpose of me being here is because during my sophomore and my junior year, I was a part-time student at Glendale Community College. I was taking college credit courses through the ACE Plus program. And unfortunately, I had to be dropped because of my status as an out-of-state student. My private scholarship no longer funded me, and I had all those courses that I took with my credits, I was at least advanced a year, and I had to be dropped. All those credits were permanently erased. It's like I never even went there, and it affects me a lot because mornings, weekends sacrifice to get ahead and all for my education, and at the end it wasn't worth pretty much nothing. So we're here to ask you to give us a chance and let us contribute to this country, to our society, and you're prohibiting that from us.
Okay.
And here we want to show you Bibi's lawfully present document, where it shows that she's legally here to be in the United States for the next 2 years on her school ID. And she has an ask for you.
Yes. So as there is an Dream Act Coalition and on behalf of myself, we are here to present to you hundreds of signatures here that are asking you to please stop your lawsuit against American Community Colleges. Our community values education. We value learning and getting ahead. We want to be able to contribute to our society, and if you permit me, I will like to share with you some of the comments that were shared from our petition. So one says, I am signing this because I am a U.S. citizen who supports Dreamers. They deserve the right to further their education and to also receive a little help from their community. There has been a recent poll by the Morrison Institute that states that 73% of Arizona voters are in favor of Dreamers and the Dream Act. So as this lawsuit, you're doing a disservice to your constituents, and we are asking you to please drop your lawsuit. And here are the
Thank you.
So we believe that that's a reasonable ask, and we're here to get your response, whether you're going to drop the lawsuit and you're going to give us an opportunity to be part of this, integrated into this society. The lawsuit is mean-spirited, and the real losers will be the Arizona voters. We believe that you're better than that. We believe that there's a national conversation going on how to fix our broken immigration system. Deferred action applicants, dreamers who have received this work permit, should be allowed to be integrated fully to the fullest extent in our economy and our education.
Okay, well, thank you. I do have some comments. First of all, as some of you may know, I served on a school board for 24 years, and I was the state superintendent of education for 8 years before I became Attorney General. And so I very much, one of my highest priorities was to work hard to help Hispanic students learn English and do well academically. And so I very much appreciate the fact that you guys take your education very seriously. Too many American kids take their free education for granted and don't devote themselves to their studies the way they should. And you guys obviously take education very seriously, and I very much respect that and am very impressed by that. The immediate situation is I'm no longer superintendent of schools, I'm the Attorney General. As Attorney General, it's my duty to enforce the laws, whether I agree with them or not. That my opinion is not relevant. I just have to enforce the laws that are passed by the legislature and signed by the governor. So if you feel the policy, obviously as you do feel the policy is incorrect, the people that need to be persuaded are the legislature and the governor on the state level, or the Congress and the president on the national level, to deal with the policy questions. I'm not elected in my current position as Attorney General to make policy. I'm elected only to enforce the law as it is. In the current situation, my understanding is the universities have accepted the law as it is, and have provided for privately funded scholarships. Now, the community colleges have not taken the same path that universities did, and there needs to be some consistency. If a judge were to decide against us and say that Dreamers are entitled to state tuition, that would apply presumably to the universities as well as the community colleges. If the courts would decide the other way, that again would apply both to the universities and the community colleges. But there needs to be some sort of consistent point of view. So unfortunately, I have to do my duty, which is to enforce the law as it is. It's not my privilege to let my personal opinions interfere with my duty, or to allow myself to decide as a matter of policy what laws are enforced and what laws are not enforced. So my thoughts are, number one, community colleges can do what the universities have done, which is provide means by which people can make contributions for private scholarships. You had mentioned losing your scholarship, and that would have nothing to do, I don't know why that happened, or why you lost your credits. That would have nothing to do with any issues that we're dealing with. That would be a matter of policy for the community colleges. But our lawsuit would have nothing to do with that. Our lawsuit has only to do with the issue of in-state tuition. That the taxpayers pay the money that is part of the state revenues, and their elected representatives, which are the legislators and the governor, decide how those can be used. It's not my privilege to change that. I'm simply required to enforce it. The ultimate decision obviously will be made by a judge, not by myself, but I have to do those duties that are imposed on me in my current position.
Attorney General, you have discretion and you have the power to drop the lawsuit. And the reason that we're here is because we want to have a direct answer from you that you're either going to drop it or not drop it. And if you're going to send this message to the Latino community out there, and if you're going to be the person that is going to be anti-immigrant and anti-education by denying access to higher education to this highly talented workforce. And that's why we're here, to hear your direct answer.
Right. Yeah, my direct answer is, I think you're in error. I do not have the discretion as to decide what laws to enforce and what laws not to enforce. If that were true, that would make me like a dictator. And there would be no reason to have a legislature and a governor to decide what laws to pass if I had the discretion to decide which laws were enforced and which laws were not enforced. I do want to disagree with you about whether or not I'm anti-immigrant or anti-education. As I mentioned, I served 24 years on a school board. I was state superintendent of schools. I devoted tremendous resources to specifically the Hispanic community, particularly making sure people learn English so they can succeed academically. As far as being anti-immigrant, you wouldn't probably know this, but I happen to be an immigrant myself. I was born in Canada and brought here by my parents, so I definitely could not be anti-immigrant. But as the elected Attorney General, it is my duty to enforce the laws, and I try to do that with respect for the rights of individuals. But I do feel that I have not been given the discretion to decide what laws to enforce and what laws not to enforce.
I believe with your actions and with the commitment of the Arizona Citizen Coalition having its mission to fully educate and integrate immigrant youth, and your actions, you're marginalizing and discriminating and treating us separate by equal, because we have this work permit that allow us to be legally present in the United States with the residents of Arizona for over a decade, and we pay our property taxes, our sales tax, and we even file our tax returns with an individual tax identification number. So as we have here, your answer that you're not going to drop the lawsuit, as an organization, we're going to continue with the pressure because we do believe and we do know that you have the power and the discretion to drop it.
Okay. Well, I think the best place to direct pressure is with respect to those who decide policy and make the law. That doesn't happen to be my power, but there are people who do have the power to change policy and change the law. And so I agree very much with your dedication to education. I don't agree with all of your characterizations of me, but I do agree with your dedication to education.
So do you support the policy?
Right now, my job is to enforce the law, and that's all I can say about it.
So you don't know if you support different actions?
At the moment, I'm simply given the job of enforcing the law, and I don't think it's appropriate for me to express an opinion on the policy when that's not really my role.
Is there anything you want to
Yes, I want to pinpoint that within the community colleges, there's precedent of accepting the work permit, the form I-766 that was shown to you, before even Prop 300 as approved for granting in-state tuition. It's a policy that has been implemented for years within the community colleges, and you are characterizing the Board of Regents and the Board of the Community College as two similar entities, but they are different. The Arizona Board of Regents is appointed by the governor, and the board of the Maricopa Community College is elected by the public. They do policy, they set the rules, and the rules are there, and you are not following those rules.
Okay, well, I guess we don't agree about that, but I want to thank you guys for coming, and I think there's some Spanish media here. If you want, I can answer questions in Spanish for your news programs.
Well, it is unfortunate to hear your response. We're going to be back to continue with the pressure, and I think we're done with this meeting. Thank you. We appreciate
Thank you
your
very
time.
much. Thanks all for coming.
Thank you.
Good night.
Oh my God.